Oh, facts. Come on. Have you seen Animorphs?
Who did you just turn into?
Have you read the Animorphs?
I know what Animorphs is.
In real life, I am morphing into low tier god as we speak.
Is this you, or at least a representation of you? Have you noticed that your elo is low? Have you been going from the 1800s to the 1500s? And because of that, have you been feeling like playing SVOU is a miserable experience? Was the last thing you saw before crashing out a +2 King Gambit? If you're watching this video, let me be the first to say congratulations. You now know the Gen 9 OU ladder experience.
What?
But fret not, my friend, cause you're about to learn the secrets to a better laddering experience. And by secrets, I mean just simple advice. Some of this stuff can even be applicable to the real world, whether it's cooking, school, socializing, or your job. So sit back, fill up your sippy cup with boiled cabbage, cause you are about to learn how to get good.
Can I start laddering now?
Whoa now, hypothetical player. I haven't even gotten to the first step to laddering yet. Because you can't ladder without a team. That's right, we're talking about building. Knowing how to build in the meta you'll be playing in is crucial to understanding the meta. It's important to ask, what do I build with? And what does my team need? What your team needs depends on the archetype you'll be building in. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to assume you'll be making a balance or bulky offense build. Making a good team is like cooking, because both involve skill and ingredients. If you don't understand what I mean, then learn how to cook so you don't have to pay $20 on DoorDash. Start with having means to deal with slower teams first. Then you can dedicate the rest of your slots to patching up defensive holes. It doesn't necessarily have to be just slapping 2 breakers and calling it a day. You could have 2 Pokemon that overwhelm a shared check. Or you could pair Zamazenta with something like Slowking Galar to assert pressure with Future Sight. You ideally want to bring in your offensive threats with pivots. You also want to consider the Pokemon these pivots bring in. As an example, Cinderace baits in Alomomola and Great Tusk, which Ogerpon bullies. Next, you'll need a way to deal with hazards. Even having to deal with just rocks gives your opponent a major advantage, as they have a better time playing the long game or pressuring you with double switches. Contrary to what some might tell you, dealing with hazards is not that bad in SVOU. You got obvious picks like Great Tusk, but there's also Cinderace, Iron Treads, Corviknight, Becky G. Weezing, and Hatterini. Side note, if you're using Corviknight for removal, pair it with another Defogger / Rapid Spinner in case you run into a Goldango, which is on a quarter of all teams. After that, you'll need your own rocks because
even having to deal with just rocks gives your opponent a major advantage, as they have a better time playing the long game or pressuring you with double switches.
Spikes are optional, but if you do run them, I recommend bringing a Ghost type and Knock-Off support, preferably from mons that match up well into the common Knock Absorbers. Now that your team can make progress, it's time to focus on your defense. Ground moves are scary, so you'll need something that can respond to those. You'd also want a ground type of your own, assuming you don't have one already. Having a Ghost Resist is very important. Scarf Gold is incredibly common, so you want to make sure it can't click Shadow Ball freely. Normal types don't really exist, so you're probably gonna need a Dark type. Though not necessary, having a Ghost type of your own can help in 2 instances, blocking Spin and checking Zamazenta. Resistances to Dark and Fairy are also important. Next, you want to have responses to the top threats. The most important ones to account for are King Gambit, Ogerpon, Kyurem, Gliscor, Zamazenta, and Dragonite. For Dragonite, it's praying you're not running into the set that 6-0s you, but let's not worry about that right now. An important box to fill out, regardless of what you build, is speed control. Sometimes your check gets worn down and loses the will to live. Now you're staring down a +2 Ogerpon. You have 2 options here.
Forfeit!
Or you can go to your Dragapult, which can threaten Ogerpon, thus resetting the game state. Outside of naturally fast Pokemon like these, other forms of speed control include Priority and Scarfers. But gee, that seems like a lot of things to check off. Can you even fit all those in 6 slots? That's the neat part. You don't. unless you understand the phrase noob.
The fuck did you call me?
That's not an insult, my friend. This is a carefully organized acronym. Never overlook our best Pokemon.
Oh. Noob.
Looks like you're getting it.
Can I start laddering now?
Many of the best Pokemon in a tier are what we like to call glue Pokemon. These guys can fill 2, 3, even 4 different niches on your team. Don't be ashamed to slap a Pokemon like Zamazenta or Kingambit onto your team. They make the building process much easier for you. While you keep noob in mind, watch closely this builder in his natural habitat. Now watch this other builder. What do you think will Pinkacross add in the last slot?
I can see this. I could see this being good.
Wait, what? So now you've built your team and it doesn't look great. Not what you were hoping. Might even say it lacks sauce. No worries, not everyone is a master chef like Langlois or CTC. But fortunately for you, you don't have to build a team to start laddering. Samples and rate my teams. In this forum, you can find carefully selected teams used by the best players that have been proven to be successful at the highest level. There's also the Rate My Team forums if you're looking for teams that are both efficient and also shiesty as hell. So now you have no excuse to blame your losses on your team. Don't feel guilty about using other people's teams. Even the top players do this.
Can I start laddering now?
You seem a little impatient, which you shouldn't be. If you want to take laddering seriously, it's important to know the procedure high-level players take when climbing. The procedure. Step 1. Make sure you know all your sets before loading up a game. Otherwise, you'll be this guy.
I won, dude.
Oh, he choked on.
Black Sludge?
2. Make sure to have access to the damage calculator. Knowing whether a move KOs or 2 KOs can drastically improve your decision making. If you don't feel like switching tabs every time you need to check calcs, you can download the Showdex, which loads up the damage calculator every time you start a match. 3. Be patient. I know that's hard for SVOU players, cause our low attention spans make it difficult to play games that last more than 30 turns. Why don't we start by analyzing this team in front of us? Take a closer look. Closer. Too close! What do you notice? That's right, your opponent is Storm Zone, you're gonna die. But let's look at the team he'll be destroying you with. It is carefully built with everything a good SVOU team needs. Here in Team Preview, it is a good time to ask, what should I lead with? Who will my opponent lead with? What looks to be the biggest threat to my team, or their team? And so on. You might be thinking that Lando is going to be Storm Zone's lead of choice. Seeing as this team doesn't have an obvious form of speed control, it seems like Lando is the speed control. Lando can anti-lead the Okrapon with powerful U-turns. It could also set rocks, which is great versus a team with 3 rock-weak Pokemon and no removal. And even if Lando loads up into a bad matchup, Storm Zone can U-turn out of there. Since you've built a Webs team, you are going to be leading with Rabombi, because, to quote a top SVOU player and builder,
What else you gonna do, bro?
good job, you made the right call. You're still dead though. Having patience is important throughout every game state. You have more than a minute with each turn, so use that time to carefully think about what the right play is. Situational awareness is important when making decisions. Consider your opponent's plays, and consider the importance of the Pokemon on your side and your opponent's. Also, take this time to run some calcs, and make mid-ground plays. It's not good to mindlessly click buttons based off instinct. To quote a top SVOU player and builder,
The point is that when you don't look at the state of the current game, but rather rely on a sense of intuition developed over many past games, you make a lot of non-optimal plays.
Okay, cool, thanks. Time to load up a game and kick some.
Hey! I didn't ask you to ladder yet. Look at you. You got eye bags. Your blood pressure is higher than Michael their bestie's ELO. You've been playing on Showdown all day, and have you gotten any sleep?
I slept. For like an hour. Why do you ask?
Mental health. What's more important than the ladder is the laddery, the ladderer, the ladderer. You. I'd like to bring up a movie to help explain why. It's a movie about two lesbian moms arguing over what the best way to raise their daughter is. Inside Out. The second one. Just to sum up the plot, there's 5 emotions, Reilly hits puberty, and then new emotions arrive. You get the gist.
Where can I put my stuff?
What do you mean we?
Stand ready.
Now, the reason why I'm bringing up Inside Out 2 is because...
Can I start ladder?
In a minute! It's because Inside Out and its sequels say important things about mental health. Inside Out 1 explores depression, while Inside Out 2 explores perfectionism and anxiety. Anxiety in the literal sense. Anxiety pulls up right after Reilly's friends tell her they're going to different schools. So now, Reilly has a lot going on. She's going through puberty and entering a new stage in her life without friends, but worst of all, without a job. Amphibians, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay, enough stalling. So anxiety, in an effort to protect Reilly, hijacks headquarters, makes Reilly pull a Griffith, and messes with the belief system, creating this thought in her head that if she makes the hockey team, she'll have friends. Anxiety also wakes her up early to practice. Nothing wrong with that. But then she's like, we need to be this good every time. And guys, you don't need to be a therapist to see the problem here. Losses are inevitable. Even the best players lose.
Bro, why are you serious right now?
Sometimes you get outplayed, and sometimes you miss Will-O-Wisp. Twice. Shit happens. That's rule number 7. To quote a top-level SVOU player and builder,
You are worthless, bitch ass.
Wait, wrong clip.
No matter how skilled someone is, there will always be days off. Because we're humans and we're subjected to moods and to periods and, to life.
Shit, wait, this isn't lax. What's important is dealing with said loss. You play a couple games and then you have your first loss of the day. I lost a little bit of elo. That's fine. I could recover that. Now, let me just load up another game and... Okay, so after 10 games and a broken laptop, they have fallen to the tilt. AKA, when a player becomes obsessed with winning and loses their patience, as well as their temper. This can cause you to lose games way more often. But how? A bunch of games makes you a better player, right? I mean, practice makes perfect, correct? Wrong! Firstly, practice doesn't make perfect, it makes progress. Secondly, burnout is real. You naturally lose energy needed to concentrate and think over constant games, which causes you to perform worse and ultimately fall into the tilt again. Using Inside Out 2 as an example again, anxiety keeps Reilly up all night, which is really bad, but I'll get to why in a sec, and proposes that in order to make the team, Reilly needs to one-up Val. Rather than scoring 2 points, she should score 3. What could go wrong? Anxiety causes Reilly to be obsessed with winning. She hogs the hockey puck, shoves her teammates, and loses sight of the game figuratively and literally. She misses one time and she misses again. Her self-esteem has now lowered by 22%.
I'm not good enough.
Doesn't that sound familiar to your ladder runs?
No, fuck this shit team. I running into 2 bitch ass fucking waterium water steam eruption in the clown. Fuck this shit.
So if you want to avoid being this person, consider these tips. Get off Showdown. Seriously, take a break. Some players go for an hour or a day, a week, or even a month without playing, and that is a great way to cool yourself off. Then you can return with a clearer mind. While on your break, distract yourself with other hobbies. Assuming you have other hobbies. I hope you have other hobbies besides Pokemon, otherwise you're screwed. Read a book, play a different video game, preferably one that's a little less competitive, socialize with your friends, watch a movie, whatever you like to do for fun, and get some goddamn rest. Refresh your brain, 6 to 8 hours of sleep. I'm not telling you all this because I'm better than you, but because I've been there, and in many ways I'm still there. Despite my position as a community leader and a member of the VR Council, I don't really consider myself a good player. Sure, I'm knowledgeable about SVOU, but knowledge only carries you so far. So I've been questioning myself. I'm not sure if I really deserve to be in a position next to several high-caliber players, because maybe I'm not good enough. It extends far past just competitive mons. I also wonder whether I deserve the grades I get, or the connections I've made. But I know one thing. I'm improving, and thus I have been putting in the effort to break out of this harmful mentality. Another reason I used Inside Out 2 to help explain my point is because this movie perfectly captures what it's like to be poisoned by self-doubt and the effects of taking your favorite hobbies too seriously. Watching it back in 2024 was like therapy or self-realization. Also, the film is now a year old. If there was an appropriate time to bring it up, it'd be now. The takeaway from this video is that we're all human, regardless of our skill level. We are prone to mistakes, or misplays, or chokes. And that's okay. All of us are on the train of self-improvement. This video is as much of a guide for me as it is for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed my team building guide / therapy session.
Can I ladder now?
What? Oh yeah, go ahead, sure. That's all I got for you. What are your thoughts? Do you find these tips helpful? Or are you the CEO of DoorDash and you're pissed off about me encouraging the OU player base to cook? Thank you for watching. And remember, to quote a mid-ladder SVOU player and builder, if you're someone with a child or younger sibling going through their teen years who's struggling with anxiety or their self-esteem, tell them this British assassin is gonna shoot the Prime Minister at the stage. Oh no! Pick up the phone!